Everyone loves food. Everyone has a favorite food. Food helps people both physically and mentally. It is essential to human survival. Tonto Natural Bridge State Park is home to what is believed to be the world's largest natural travertine bridge. The park size is a modest 161 acres. Much of this land is devoted to the canyon that runs through the bridge and park. At the park, we have 4 designated trails. These trails are the Gowan Trail, the Anime Trail, the Waterfall Trail, and the Pine Creek Trail. Of these trails, the Gowan and Pine Creek Trail lead to the bridge. Today, we will be identifying a few edible plants found around the park. We will identify plants located at the top of the bridge, the Waterfall Trail, and the Pine Creek Trail. The plants we will be identifying include prickly pear cactus, blackberry bushes, and juniper trees. These plants, while they call this park home, can also be found throughout Arizona. In fact, these plants can be found throughout the United States and in other regions around the world. The great thing about these plants is that after you have identified them and know what they are, if you're ever out on the trail and you need a quick bite, just find it, eat it, and you're good to go. With that, let's go identify our plants. Located atop the bridge is our first plant, Opuntia macrohiza, or the twist-spine prickly pear, or simply the prickly pear. Know that there are many varieties of prickly pear. Prickly pear are native to the south-central, southwestern parts of the U.S. They can also be found in Mexico. They grow in grassland, pinyon juniper woodlands, ponderosa pine forests, and deserts. These plants thrive in arid, dry conditions with sandy, rocky, well-draining soils. All parts of this plant are edible. The fruit of this plant is berry-like and oval to barrel-shaped. The fruit is wine red to purple in color when fully ripe. The fruit becomes ripe in late summer to early fall. September is a great time to pick them. The fruit, as well as the entirety of the plant, is covered in spines. To eat the fruit, it is recommended to burn off the spines. The spines are small and stubby, so a quick open flame from a lighter will do the trick. The fruit becomes sweeter as it ages, so if you ever want a sweeter fruit, wait later in the season to pick it. The fruit has a crunchy, slimy texture to it, similar to okra. It tastes like a mildly sweet strawberry. The fruit is filled with seeds. The seeds are hard, so do not attempt to chew them. You will break your teeth. The seeds can be swallowed or spit out. Eating the skin is not recommended. Spines that may persist after burning the skin of the fruit may accidentally become stuck in your mouth. This happens frequently to hikers, and the feeling is very unpleasant. Knowing this, let's move on to our next plant, the Himalayan blackberry. Along the Waterfall Trail, our second plant for today is Rubus arminiacus, or the Himalayan blackberry. These blackberries are an invasive species introduced to Tonto Natural Bridge State Park. The Himalayan blackberry was introduced to the United States in the late 1800s. Himalayan blackberries grow throughout the western half of the United States and are also found in a handful of states in the east. These blackberries also grow in Canada and Europe. Originally, Himalayan blackberries were native to Armenia and Iran. These plants love to grow in riparian habitats, which are by rivers and streams or in places with moist soil. They are deciduous, meaning they lose their leaves in the fall. Blackberry bushes are identifiable by their serrated leaves that come in bunches of 5 and their long, thorny tendril shoots, You will remember a blackberry bush after the thorns have pricked you. The berries can be up to an inch long, and the best time to pick them is midsummer. The blackberries of this species are plump and sweet. They taste like a sweet raspberry and have a gooey, seedy texture. Note, you can bite through and swallow the seeds. They are not very hard. It feels like you're eating overripe peach slices. Picking blackberries is an art. When picking blackberries, a long-sleeve shirt, jeans, and most importantly gloves should be worn. Leather gloves work best for the occasion. Cloth gloves will pick up the tiny thorns that work their way through the material and will stab your hands. Ouch! Blackberries are a great treat to eat anytime you're on a hike. They are used in many recipes, including tarts, pies, and jams. With that, let's go find our last plants, juniper trees. At the Pine Creek Trail, our last plants, which are two varieties of juniper trees, can be found. There is Juniperus depiana and Juniperus osteosperma, or commonly known as alligator juniper and shaggybark juniper. Shaggybark juniper can also be called the Utah juniper. Both of these trees are found throughout the southwestern United States along slopes, montane habitats, mixed with other juniper and pine stands, and in rocky soils. These plants are evergreens and are easily identifiable by their scale-like leaves. Their bark is also a dead giveaway. Alligator juniper has scale-like bark, hence its common name. The bark comes in rectangular plates. Shaggybark juniper has long, shredding strips of bark. The bark makes a great fire starter due to it being so fibrous and stringy. Both of these trees have edible berry-like fruit. The berries are a light bluish purple with white powder covering them. The berries are on the trees year-round, so in picking the berries, just look for the light bluish purple ones. The inside of the berries are light yellow-green. They typically have a very bitter flavor, but are very nutritious, high in protein in fact. Juniper berries have a strong flavor similar to rosemary. It is recommended to only eat a handful of berries due to the bitter taste. The berries contain hard seeds that should be spit out. The species name for shaggybark juniper, osteosperma, literally means bone seed. Do not try to bite through these seeds. They will break your teeth like prickly pear seeds. On an interesting note, juniper berries are used to make gin. Having learned all this, let's wrap up. We are nearly finished with our program. Today, we discovered prickly pear cactus, blackberry bushes, and 2 types of juniper trees. When identifying each plant, we learned where to find them in the United States and where else they may grow outside of the states. We learned where each plant likes to grow. Prickly pear like arid dry conditions and rocky soils, blackberries like riparian habitats with moist soil, and juniper trees are found in montane habitats or grasslands with preference for rocky soils. Each plant comes into season in the summer, though the time does vary. These plants also have their own unique tastes and textures. Harvesting each plant is different. Prickly pear and blackberries are the most time-consuming when harvesting. With that, I would like to thank you for accompanying me today. I really do appreciate it. I hope that whenever you are out on the trails and you happen to see some of these plants, you help yourself to a well-deserved snack. Thanks again. Have a great day and happy hunting. The Himalayan blackberry was introduced to the western half of the United States in the late 1800s. Yeah, Definitely. Yeah, western half. Doesn't even say that in the script. How do you do that? Yeah.